what you need to do is to take the totality of the people of Nigeria and the totality of the people who are agitating for going back to regional setup and compare which one is more in number.
Hello and what's up, guys? In this video, a top northern elder has shaken the entire debate on Nigeria's future. He has come out boldly to say something that will shock many Southerners, calling for regional government. According to this elder, Nigeria can never go back to regional government the way it was practiced in the First Republic. He insists that no matter how many voices you hear talking about restructuring or regional setup, it is simply not possible. Now, listen carefully. He explained that in a democracy, every Nigerian has the right to express their opinion, but that doesn't mean it is the opinion of the majority. He asked a striking question. When you read the papers, how many people are really supporting regional government and where are they from? He said you will always find a few voices here and there shouting for it, but when you compare the total population of Nigeria, the size, the influence, and the majority opinion, you will see that it is not a possible project. He even warned that trying to push for it might just be a wishful thinking. And guys, here is the most shocking part. This elder is almost 100 years old. He said he was born in 1925, and because of his long experience, he knows what is possible in this country and what is not. According to him, with all his years of wisdom, he will never waste time on something that can never work. Guys, I will let you watch this video for yourself so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you haven't already done so. Take a look, guys, and remember to share your thoughts after watching.
An elder statesman and prominent northern politician, Alhaji Tanko Yakasai, has said that it is no longer possible for Nigeria to return to regional government as practiced in the First Republic. According to him, no many Nigerians are favorably disposed to the idea of going back to regional government, which gained ground during the First Republic. The elder statesman said that, in a democracy, everyone had the right to express his or her opinion, stating that this might not constitute majority opinion unless otherwise tested.
I am almost 100 years old now. I was born in 1925. So I'm getting to 100 years. I know what is possible, I know what is not possible. I will not venture into something that I know is not possible. Read the papers. How many people are now supporting going back to regional setup? Where are they from? North, west, south? See, because this is a democracy. In a democracy, everybody has the right to express his opinion. That opinion does not constitute majority unless it is tested. You see, you will have few people who talk about this or that, but what you need to do is to take the totality of the people of Nigeria and the totality of the people who are agitating for going back to regional setup and compare which one is more in number, size, and influence. Then you'll be able to determine whether it's a possible project or whether it is just wishful thinking.
As a northerner, what restructuring means to you?
Nothing. Actually, as you said, it's a vague word. It doesn't have a meaning. When you say you are restructuring, what are you restructuring? What do you want? That's the problem. The problem is that we are yet to define what exactly we want. Now, if we don't identify what we want and clearly understand what we want, we can never agree. Now, tell me that, look, I want devolution of power. I want A, I want B, I want C. Is that restructuring to you? Now, to somebody, it might be different. Now, but to me personally, as I said, I don't even think it is important or necessary to always talk about restructuring. It's something that just started because of one reason or the other.
Well, no, I think this conversation, I mean, from my understanding so far, it's been because there are grievances as to how development has occurred across the country. It's been claimed that some regions are more developed than others. Some have enjoyed better federal government presence compared to the others, and that the overall well-being of the Nigerian person, of the Nigerian, is not equal in terms of there's income inequality, high poverty levels compared to when you look at regions. So I'm thinking that perhaps is what has brought about. So when you say restructuring, maybe, like you said, maybe we don't know what we want, but something restructuring starts that change. That shouldn't be a problem. This is purely a subject of political economy.
As a nation, you know, one nation is more developed than another nation. One nation has more poverty than another nation. One nation is less educated than. Now, in a nation that nations thinks to be united and developed and one single entity as a nation, it should be a problem for all the nation, not a single problem for northern Nigeria or southern Nigeria or east. No, this is Nigeria. Now, as a Nigeria, it's a question of you give, you take. In a political economy, a system of political economy, you look at it that you have this, I have this. Now, how do we come together and build a nation? As long as we stand up and say, I am a northerner, I am a southerner, I am an easterner, I want this for my people, I want this, we are not a nation.
But it appears that is our reality. That is what we've always done.
Let's go back to history, Esther. What brought the first coup in Nigeria? It has nothing to do with corruption. There was not corruption as we call it that. It was simply that one part of the country think that I should have the president. And that this the other country, but the section that think they should have the country, they don't have the country, the president. So they say, okay, why shouldn't we set a coup? There was a coup, and it was agreed that that coup was a sectional coup. There shouldn't have ever been a coup in Nigeria at that time. Now, after that coup, what brought the civil war? It was not to develop Nigeria or to develop a section of Nigeria, no, because we think that we don't want to be with you. We want to go. All this talk. Now, when did we start to realize that one section is dominating another one? This is not something of today or tomorrow. We should, as my own perspective, that we should either try to look at ourselves as Nigerians, build Nigeria where each and every Nigerian will be proud to be a Nigerian and not being proud to be a northerner or easterner or southerner.
Yes.
Or else we should decide not to be together. We should just decide each one of us go his own way. That's my point.
And some or many are of the opinion that if we are to achieve that, if we are to tell ourselves that we are Nigerians, let us move forward as Nigerians, let's move forward as one entity, equitable and all of that, then we cannot continue with the status quo. We cannot continue with the kind of leadership perhaps that we have. We cannot continue with the way the regions are being, not equally, being developed, etc. So I'm thinking, perhaps from that point of view, that angle, then we can take up the word. Because whether we like it or not,
the problem of Nigeria
is on.
The problem of Nigeria is one. The quality of leadership is poor in Nigeria. And that quality of leadership, I'm not talking only the presidency, from the grassroots, one's leadership, anywhere, the quality of our leadership is extremely poor. Extremely poor. Now, this is a nation where people start to think me first rather than the nation next. Now, we come from the minor to the bigger, rather than from the bigger perspective to the lower. The Nigerian situation is pathetic. We start from me, then my village, then my state, then my region, then my country. This is the situation we are in.
So that is an orientation.
That is the orientation. Now, there was only once or twice in this country that when I felt that people were trying to be proud that we are Nigerian. Probably you are Murtala Muhammad when he was the president of Nigeria, the military president of Nigeria.
I believe Nigeria has to split, or Nigeria has to go back into regionalism. Ideally, don't split, but go back into regionalism, because the way Nigeria is set up right now just does not work. I'm being honest with you. Nigeria is set up to support numbers, support your location, and if you are a northerner, as you can see, the north, I'm from the south, I'm a southerner. If you are from the north, you're most likely Muslim, and the way Nigeria is built to support religion and numbers, and the north have both. If you are from the south, the chances of you becoming the president of Nigeria is forgotten. I, as an Ibibio man from Akwa Ibom State, but I can never become president of Nigeria. I can never even become a top-ranking member of office, because I am from the southern part of Nigeria, and I'm But I'm going to say this even more. You see, a lot of the mess people hear about Nigeria typically comes from the north, from the terrorism to the illiteracy to the poverty. It's from the north. I'm going to go I'll make a deeper video on this, but let me show you guys some more. So this is how Nigeria is set up. You see, there's a southwest there, there's a south-south, and there's a southeast. That's the southern part of Nigeria. And if you look at the north, right, from north central to northwest to northeast, that's the bulk of Nigeria. Nigeria has 230 million people. The north has 60% of 230 million people, guys. Nigeria has 230 million people. The north has more than 60% of that number. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. If you take Nigeria and you split the south and the north, the southern part of Nigeria automatically becomes one of the best African countries. I'm telling you. I'm not saying Nigeria should split. I like Nigeria as it is on paper because the numbers give us an advantage. The GDP as a collective gives us an advantage. However, we most definitely have to go back into regionalism so that people can have more autonomy over their regions. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, because right now Nigeria doesn't work. If you are not a northerner and you're not Muslim, forget it. Nigeria is built to support your religion, Muslim, Islam, and support numbers, the north. That's why if you look at Nigeria, most of our presidents have been from the north. Let me show you more things. If you look further into these details, you will see northern Nigeria is facing a raft of problems. It is economically disadvantaged compared to the rest of the country. That's a lie. The north of Nigeria is not economically disadvantaged. The north has about 43 minerals, solid minerals, that are of commercial value. There is gold in the north. There is even oil in the north. There is every single commercial mineral you can find in the world. It's in the northern part of Nigeria. But the thing is this, the northern leaders, the northern elites want to focus on oil and gas in the south. And the northern elites deliberately keep the northerners poor and hungry because they're easier to control. They don't want to develop the north, because if you develop the north, the people cannot be your zombies anymore. So they keep them hungry, they keep them angry, they keep them poor, they keep them ignorant so that they're easier to control. This is what's going on in the northern part of Nigeria. This is it. This is the truth. So what I want to share with the global community is this. The bulk of the mess you hear about Nigeria comes from the northern part of Nigeria. From the poverty to the violence to the terrorism to the child marriages to the chaos. Most of it comes from the north. I'm not saying the south is perfect, absolutely not. But I'm telling you, if you separate the northern part of Nigeria right now and you separate the south, I kid you not, the southern part of Nigeria automatically becomes one of the best countries in Nigeria. Let me show you one more thing and then I'll shut up. So what you guys see here is the 25 most educated states in Nigeria. Okay, 25 most educated states in Nigeria. This is from the Nigerian Bureau of Statistics. But I want to show you guys something. Let's take a look at some of the states, because I don't think I can go through all 25. So you have Imo State, Lagos State, Ekiti State. These three states are in the southern part of Nigeria. Okay. Again, you have Rivers State, Abia State, Anambra State. Rivers State is in south-south, Abia State is in southeast, Anambra State is in southeast. Then you have Osun State. Osun State is in southwest. Edo State is in Niger Delta, south-south. Enugu State is in southeast. These are the top 25 educated states in Nigeria. Let's continue. Delta State is in the south-south. Bayelsa State is in the south-south. Kogi State is in the north. Somewhere in the north. Then you have Ogun State. Ogun State is in the southwest. Ondo State is in the southwest. Oyo State is in the southwest as well. Then you have Cross River State in the south-south. This is where my mother is from. Akwa Ibom State in the south-south. This is where my father is from. Federal Capital Territory. This is in the north. So you guys see, this is what I'm talking about. The most educated people in Nigeria come from the southern part of Nigeria. The most intellectually capable people come from the southern part of Nigeria. So imagine, because of the way Nigeria is set up, The average Southerner can never get into leadership position because they're not a lot and because they're not Muslim. So this is how Nigeria is set up. Nigeria is set up to favor the northern part of Nigeria because they have more numbers and because they're Muslim. That's it. This is why Nigeria is chaotic. So most Southerners now are calling for separation. Most Southerners now are calling for regionalism because, dude, we are not going to leave the hand of our country in some guy who doesn't even know what it means to be educated. We're not going to give the future of our country and our location in the hands of somebody who probably doesn't understand the essence of, collaboration. It makes no sense. So that's why for me personally, as a Southerner, I absolutely support regionalization. I support regionalism because it makes the most sense for my people. It makes the most sense for my state. I don't think, while I appreciate Nigeria and I think Nigeria needs to stay together, but we need to stay together as a confederacy. A federation does not work because what we have currently as a federation is a few people from the north deciding what happens for everybody else, and you have not even developed your region. How can you be in leadership position in Nigeria for over 2 decades and the north is still one of the most underdeveloped places in the world, in Nigeria, in Africa?
The next thing he should do, tell him if you know him, is to restructure this country. Nigeria is a fraud. One particular tribe repressing the whole of us. Did you hear what Central Bank governor wants to do? Just a department, the operation department of Central Bank, to be moved back to Lagos, where you have 99% of the headquarters of bank. The north is agitating. Don't take Abuja back to Lagos. They don't care. If you all become beggars, it's okay for their oligarchic mentality. I talk like no other pastor talk. I talk like no other pastor talk. Because I have seen into governance, I have seen into the church. And I know where the problem is in this country. Are you hearing me? They may not like what I'm saying, but they cannot dispute the truth. This country cannot go on like this. Okay, I was talking about those who migrated. I don't blame those that want to japa. Initially I was saying don't japa. Do you hear me say that again? Japa if you want to japa. Because you look at the country and say, what future? If it goes on like this, what future? If it goes on like this, civil war is imminent. If it goes on like this, military intervention is imminent. Do we want to go back to that? No, something must happen. I have always believed that something must happen. Do you see the way we pray in this church? Make Nigeria one. We don't pray. Nigeria is not one, and it can never be one. We are different nations tied together by force. We should still be one country, but let everyone govern himself the way he likes. Are you hearing me? Let the Niger Delta have their oil. Let the East have their resources. Let the Yoruba people have their resources. Let the North have their resources. Let them manage their security. Give them state police. Let everybody guard his borders. Let everybody generate his economy.